Halloween soap time. I'm Lisa from My Dreaming Soap. Welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for dropping by. So this is, not surprisingly, going to be a Halloween themed soap. I'm doing a large moon with a flying witch and some bats going through it, and also I'm doing, as the second part of my soap, the bit underneath, I'm doing a Halloween style cat screaming at the witch. So that's my plan. I'm going to be doing it in a couple of stages. I need to make the moon first of all with the witch in, and then once that's done as an embed, I'll then set it in the rest of the soap. So come on, let's go and make some Halloween soap. I want my cat to be sitting on the roof or standing on the roof of a shed, sort of yelling at the witch flying past. So I don't have a shed mould, but I do have my mould that I use for my cottage soaps. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop it in half, so I have sort of half of the shed popping into the soap with the cat standing on it, yelling at the witch. Now this mould, this would make an embed for the full length of my mould, but because I'm chopping it in half, I only need it half the length. So I can use my mould block, and I sell these for all of my moulds in my shop. So, and you can just pop that in and make the mould whatever length that you want. So you're never wasting all that extra soap by having a mould that's a little bit too long. So for my purposes here, I'm just going to pop that halfway at the moment. And that will give me plenty by the time I chop that in two to fill up my whole mould. Okay, so I've got my oils there with some activated charcoaling. So I just want black and my lye solution and sodium lactate. Okay, so it's just simply a case of blending this up. And I'm going to add my fragrance oil. Now I'm using Dragon's Blood from Nature's Garden. This does discolour slightly to sort of a light brown colour, but I'm using it in the black and the rest of the soap is going to be quite dark, so I think it's going to be absolutely fine. I'm actually going to hand stir that in because my batter's thickening up because I've blended it quite a bit and I want it to still flow nicely into my mould. Okay, so let's just pour that into this half of the mould. And I'm deliberately also not filling this right up because I don't want it to be like a hole. I just really sort of want the roof bit and a tiny little bit of the wall. So I'm deliberately not going right to the top of this mould. Okay, I think that will do. And as you can see, that mould block just holds that soap in and stops it flowing into that other bit of the mould. So I've been able to make an embed exactly the length that I want it. Let's make the moon then for our witch. Now here's my oils, and I've just got some Clementine Pop orange mica in here. I'm going to do it all as one colour. I have got a little bit of red in another jug. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour off about a third of this into there. So I've got some sort of quite reddy orange and some quite orangey orange. And doing in the pot swirl just to get some sort of differences going through our moon. So let's get our lye solution and everything in here. But I'm not going to blend that too much because I want to get myself sorted out with my moon. So I have got an acrylic tube. This is what I use for a lot of my round soaps and things. I just got a nice, I use a cast acrylic rather than an extruded acrylic because it's just a better quality acrylic. And I bought a huge long pipe of it and had it just chopped up into various sizes that I could use. So that's that. I've marked on it, probably can't see that, the size that my embed needs to come to, and hoping that I've calculated the right amount of oils here for my soap, taking account of the embeds that I'm going to put in. So here are those embeds we extruded earlier, and you can see I've kept them covered up with some cling film. Now I don't need my little cat at the moment, so that can carry on being covered up. But I need my witch and my bats. Okay, so I think I'm all ready. There's not going to be a lot of difference in these colours, and I don't want them too different. I just want it to just not look like one solid colour. Okay, not sure how well you're going to see this. I'm going to just gently pour it down the side of this mould. Okay, so there we go. Now it's short of the mark at the moment, but that's what we expect because I've got to put my embeds in. There goes my witch. And there goes batty number 1. And bat number 2. Sticking out quite a long way, so what I might do is just chop it down a bit, and then some of these bars can have a third bat. Okay, then I'm going to get the rest of this in, and hopefully it will take me up to my mark. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to wrap that up. I'm not going to be able to see pop it because it's really tall and I can't put it in an oven or anything. So we'll leave that until tomorrow, and then we'll unmould that and pop that in our soap, having to trim up those little embeds as well. So here's my little bit of cottage the next day. So what I want to do is I need to cut it in half down the middle. So I've marked, I don't know if you can see that, the centre line on it. Okay, so that's what I want, my little embed. I'm going to join, well, not join them together, I'm going to put those together in the mould just like that, and that's going to be my roof for my cat, and my cat's going to sit on that. Let's put this soap together then, shall we? So the colours I'm going to use for all the areas around all my embeds, I'm going to have sort of like a bluey purple in the pot swirl, because I sort of like some purple in a Halloween soap. So I've got shimmer blue here from Mica Mama, just dispersed in some oils from my batch. And then some purple heart, that's from Pure Rock Pearls. And then this is just the fragrance oil that I'm going to need, Dragon's Blood again, as I used for the embeds. Okay, so let's get everything placed in my mould. So the first thing I'm going to do is take that shed. Okay, I've just got it wrapped in some cling wrap to stop it drying out too much. Okay, I'm just going to pop that in. Oh, put it round the right way. Okay, so that's a nice fit in there. Okay, now my fragrance oil, I'm just going to divide it roughly by eye. This is going to be in the pot swirl anyway, so it's all going to get mixed into this area. And I've got little measuring marks on this jug anyway. Now this fragrance does move not super quickly, and I've kept my batter nice and cool, but it does move at a reasonable speed, which will be good for me for my embeds and things. So I'm just going to make sure I've got that fragrance oil really nicely mixed in. And then as soon as I can see these coming to a bit of a trace, I'll then start to mix them together. I don't want to mix them yet because they're still a little bit too fluid. And although I don't mind the colours mixing a bit, you know, I want to see some sort of swirl in there. I think we're pretty well okay now. I've got a bit of a trace going on. So let's get this in the pot swirl just poured in. Now I don't want it as in, you know, like an in the pot swirl you'd get if you're actually doing that as a design in a soap, if that makes sense. I just want these two colours just to swirl together a bit. You know, I'm not trying to look for a fancy design in my soap. I just want to actually see the two different colours. And I'm just using my spatula here just to stop. I don't want all of the blue sinking all the way down. I do want some to come out early on. Okay. And that is starting to thicken slightly, which is good because it should support my stars and things that I want as my embeds. Okay, now for our cat, always messy, I'm going to pour a bit into the cat. I know it's going to fall out all over the place, but best way to make sure that we get it filled up. Whoop. Let's get that in quickly. And hope we didn't lose too much. Okay, now we'll need some behind the cat. Okay, so let's have a go with this embed. I am still nervous. It's got to be fluid enough to move around the embed, but not too fluid that this will just plunge to the bottom. So hopefully I don't end up yanking it back out again, because it is really quite heavy. Let's go. Bit nervy. Oh, I think we're going to be okay. Look at that. Excellent. So as I said, I want to push it in just so the soap comes up the sides. And this embed is made the same width as the mould. So yeah, as I said, I'm going to have some extra coming off. That was part of my plan. Okay, let's have a look at getting our soap cut. So here's, looks a bit like a treasure chest or something weird, doesn't it? So let's have a look at what we've got. Now I'm a little bit worried because where I had to push that moon in at the top, I don't know if you saw, but one of my stars actually pushed out of the soap. So I'm a bit worried that I might have pushed down and moved the cat or something, and it might have fallen off its shed or whatever. So we'll find out together whether the cat's in the right place or not. Looks like it is. Brilliant. Let's have a look. Are you ready? Ta-da! Here it is. It's our cat yelling at our witch as she flies through the sky. I'm really pleased with those. I like the blue, the sky has come out a nice colour. I would have liked that little star. I think it was the one that was going to be up here that probably squished out of the top. But I think they're fine. I do like my little witch. I think some of them got some extra bats. Oh, there we go. Look, the ones at the end. Do you remember when I made that soap at the start? I had a little bit of an extra length on the bats. So look, those one got some extra bats at the start there. Okay, so there's those, and a couple of nice samples that we've got. Okay, tiny weeny little hole there just under the cat's throat, but we can sort that one out. And then just to finish off, here's a final picture of the soap. If you'd like to grab yourself a bar of this soap, there are a couple of them left in the shop at the moment. The link to the shop's in the description below. I hope you've enjoyed this video and you like the soap. If you have, it would be great if you gave me a thumbs up, and why not consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Happy soaping!